Okay, let's talk about something we all think about. इंडिया की पॉपुलेशन इतनी बड़ी, राइट? और सुनते ही पहला थॉट क्या आता है? टेंशन, स्ट्रेस, so many people, so many problems. But what if I told you that this isn't a problem at all? What if this is actually India's greatest superpower just waiting to be unleashed? चलिए इस सवाल की गहराई में चलते हैं.
So, this is the big question today. On one side, we see it as a liability, a boj. On the other, it could be our most valuable asset, an anmol sampatti. Which one is it? In this explainer, we're going to solve this exact puzzle. And we're going to tackle this like a treasure hunt. First, we'll understand the big question itself. Then, we'll discover a hidden treasure. After that, we'll find the two keys to unlock that treasure. And finally, we'll face the biggest challenge that stands in our way. Ready for this adventure? Let's begin. All right, first things first, let's find that hidden treasure I mentioned. This treasure is called human capital. Now, I know, it might sound a bit technical, but trust me, its meaning is super simple and incredibly powerful.
So, human capital is basically the total stock of skill, knowledge, and health that all the people in a country have. Think of it as the internal wealth of the population. It's not just about counting heads, it's about what's inside those heads. Yahi hai wo anmol punji.
But why is it the most superior resource of all? Well, think about it. Land, machines, money, none of these things can do anything on their own, right? They just sit there until a person, a human being, puts them to use. People are the ultimate resource that gives value to all other resources.
And the best example of this? Japan. They have very limited land and hardly any natural resources. Yet, they are one of the most developed countries in the world. How did they do it? Simple. They invested in their greatest treasure, their people. They didn't dig for gold, they built up their human capital.
Let's make this even clearer. Physical capital, like a factory, can be bought and sold. It's separate from its owner. But human capital, like the knowledge of a doctor, can't be separated from the person. You can't sell the doctor, you can only hire their services. That's its unique power.
So now that we've found the treasure, the next big question is, how do we unlock it? Well, there are two master keys, padai, which is education, and sehat, which is health. Let's see how they work.
The process is actually pretty straightforward. When we invest in people's education, their skills and knowledge increase. And when we invest in their health, their ability to work, their productivity goes up. And when you combine these two, you get strong human capital.
But why does all this matter in real life? Simple. Just like you invest money in a bank and get returns, investing in people also gives huge returns. These returns come in the form of higher incomes, a better society, and a stronger nation. Let's talk specifically about education. The benefits aren't just for the individual, they're for the whole society. An educated person earns more, dreams bigger, becomes a better citizen, and develops stronger life values. It's a total win-win situation for everyone.
And this is how a cycle is created. Educated parents invest in their children's health and education, which helps those children succeed. This is called a virtuous cycle, a positive loop. But the opposite is also true. If parents aren't educated, they often can't make those investments, and a vicious cycle of poverty continues.
And you know what? India has come a long way here. Just think about it. Back in 1951, our literacy rate was a mere 18%. 18! Fast forward to 2011, and that number jumped all the way to 74%. That's a huge leap, and a lot of the credit goes to initiatives like Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan. The journey is still long for sure, but we are definitely on the right path.
Okay, so we've found the treasure and we've unlocked it with the keys of education and health. But now, how do we put this treasure to work? This is where economic activities come in, and also where we face our biggest challenge, unemployment.
So in our economy, people generally work in three main sectors. The primary sector is directly linked to nature, like farming. The secondary sector is all about manufacturing, like building cars. And the tertiary sector provides services, like banking, IT, or teaching. This is the playground where our human capital gets to work.
But unemployment is like rust on this treasure chest. What it means is simple. A person is willing to work, they have the ability to work, but they just can't find a job. And this is a huge, huge waste of our most valuable resource.
Now, there are different types of unemployment. For example, seasonal unemployment. Think of a farmer. When it's time to sow seeds or harvest the crops, they have work. But what about the other months of the year? They become unemployed. That's seasonal unemployment for you.
Then there's something called disguised unemployment, or hidden unemployment. Look at this slide. Imagine a small farm where the work only requires 2 people, but the whole family of 5 is working on it. On the surface, it looks like everyone is employed, but the reality is 3 of them are extra. Even if you remove them, the farm's output won't change.
And in our cities, we see a totally different problem: educated unemployment. This is where people have degrees, sometimes very good ones, but they can't find a job that matches their qualifications. It's a paradox where there's a massive gap between the skills people have and the jobs that are available.
Okay, let's pause here for a second and think. In your area, your city, or your village, which type of unemployment do you see the most? Is it seasonal, disguised, or educated? Let us know in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you.
And why does unemployment matter so much? Well, because it's not just one person's problem. It's a wastage of our national human resource. It's an economic burden on the working population. And most importantly, it creates a sense of hopelessness and despair among people.
So what's the final takeaway from this whole explainer? It's this. People are not a burden. They are a country's greatest asset. To make this asset truly valuable, the keys of health and education are absolutely crucial. These keys create human capital, and it's this capital that powers the entire economy.
So the next time you think about India's huge population, what will you see? A burden, a problem, or will you see a massive treasure chest filled with potential, just waiting for the right keys to unlock it? The choice of perspective is all yours.